and therefore we cannot say it. Whereas on the full moon day, the moon is visible throughout the night. Okay, the moon will rise at the time of a sunset, and it will be there throughout the night, and it will set when there is a next day's sunrise. Okay, so that's the position. Now that's so far so good. But for us to track it exactly where we are, just like an aeroplane flying over the earth, right? They need to know at any point where are they, and at what point they're going to land in London or Atlanta or wherever it is. We need some reference point, like milestones, and that is provided to us by this reference grid in the sky. Okay, that is the star system, but not any stars, because we want the stars in that part of the sky which are close to where we see the sun, or where we see the moon, or where we see all the planets. It needs to be close to that so that they become useful, okay, to track where the position of the moon is, where the position of the planet is, or the sun is. That system is called the Nakshatra system in the Indian lunisolar calendar, or in a Western system, you can call that zodiac. Now, Indian system also uses the zodiac, right? The 12 Rashis. Just for a reference, I've used that Nakshatra 1. I'm calling it Ardra. And if those of you who are interested in going further into astronomy, I'm saying not only you should understand this, but you should have these nakshatras by heart. There is no alternative whatsoever, no matter who tells you what, to not knowing these nakshatra, not knowing their names, and not remembering. You have to remember. There is no alternative. You have to remember in a sequence. You have to know their multiple names. Okay, here I've taken reference number 1. I'll tell you why I took that as a 1. But for now, that's Nakshatra Ardra. Now, I have not written names for every nakshatra because there is no space. Then after that, after Ardra comes Punarvasu. So I'm not going to say the number, but the number 2 is Punarvasu. Okay, then Pusha. Then after Pusha is Ashlesha, then Magha, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Vishakha, Anuradha, Jeshta, Mula. These are different stars. Sometimes they are a pair of stars, sometimes few stars, but they are given one nakshatra name. Okay, and then nakshatra 14, if we start with Adra as a 1, that's nakshatra called Mula. Okay, another time we'll talk about the significance of why the name was given as a Mula. Very, very amazing thing that matches with what the modern science, modern astronomy tells us about that word or about that location in the sky. But go further, if you go beyond Mula, it's a Purvashada, Uttarashada, okay, then Shravan, Dhanishta, Shatataraka, Purva Bhadrapada, Uttara Bhadrapada, Revati, Ashwini. Now, many of you know that Ashwini Nakshatra is very important. That's how our calendar begins. Our current calendar, if you have a Panchanga at home, it will say it's a Ashwini Adi Ganana. It is done by assuming Ashwini as Nakshatra number 1. You will not have a time to go into that today, why that is called Nakshatra number 1. Ashwini, then Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrugashirsha. Okay, and there is actually one more nakshatra. I don't know if we can see it here. Okay, let's do that. So 27, and there is a 28 nakshatra called Abhijit or Brahma Rashi, or a star called Vega. Okay, so I have not written all the names. I don't expect you to know all these names right away, but if you want to go further, it's very important you go to Wikipedia, type nakshatra, note down the names, note down their stars, why, what are the names, what is the meaning of that, who comes after who, and so on. So this is our reference milestone, milestone system.